Hey folks, Will. Okay, so I mentioned yesterday we were potentially looking on the USDX for a run below this low and return back into the range. That's exactly what's played out. Did I manage to trade it profitably? Nope. I was looking for a reversal on the pound. It happened late New York. I was looking for a reversal on the euro. Late New York. I missed both of them. I did have a short on the euro, and I ended up stopping it slightly, probably a couple of pips and basically break even. Took out 10 pip loss on cable. It's not the end of there really. It's all good. US index, very much in a consolidation range here. We've come down, run this low, strong reaction off it, pressing back up into the range. Could make a run for the high of the range, could make a run for this old low, could roll over and continue lower. So, from 4 hourly perspective, this was an order block. We've hit it, we've gone quite deep into it. We do have, where's 50% of that order block lines up there. That's the midpoint of the order block. We're hitting it at the moment. Could still react off that. Could run for new highs. There's a liquidity void down in here between this high and this low. We could come back, look to come back and fill that in. So you've got hourly order blocks in here, rejection levels on the wicks, and this press up is obviously losing momentum going into Asia. So it's a spike up, rejection back into these lows. I don't think this press down is going to just lose all momentum and go shooting straight up. It's going to chop around a bit before if it is going to reverse. So potential to come back down and fill this liquidity void. Here. So that's sort of going to be a little bit of the bias, I guess. If it just wants to continue strong, we'll just have to play with that as it goes. Cable has rallied up, hit this order block, shown some rejection, and still very much in an uptrend. We're making high highs, high lows, so we're looking for a higher low to form in here. I'm not interested in getting short until we break this order block, 4 hourly order block. So we need to break that, come up, make a lower high. Unless we rally up, this doesn't look much like a long-term high for mine. It's more of a pullback in the 4 hourly trend than this is a reversal. Even though on the daily it does look like a reversal, more like a reversal with this wick. Got this candle, so it could become a reversal. We could see if we break this, if we engulf this, we'll create a morning star pattern with the bullish engulfing, sort of kangaroo tail, bearish engulfing pattern. And that you see here, this is that 4 hourly order block, lines up with it. But I want to see that reaction first before I can turn around and say, okay, we're flat out in a reversal, and you can see that trend here. So I'm more inclined to look for a bullish reaction out of this level to at least get back up into this 4 hourly order block. Then I am to want to look at shorting. If we rally, say we rally from here straight back up into here, I'm not too keen on shorting that straight off the bat when we're in a situation with the market where we're making higher highs and higher lows. I don't want to pick tops. I'll wait for the top to form, and then I'll look to get in line with it. I know that I was picking bottoms down here with this divergence, but I still waited for a reaction before loading up long. So I'm applying the same principle here. If we rally up and we get a reaction and a lower high from here, again, SMT divergence, those sorts of things kick in, and then we look to make a lower low, then obviously I'll shift to the short side, especially if that coincides with US index remaining strong. So I'm looking for a reaction on the US index to come back down to fill in this liquidity void, a corresponding run higher on cable. We can see all sorts of old highs in here. This 4-hourly order block is fairly deep within this range. There's a tiny little void to look at between this low and this high in here. So it could just come back and fill that in or bounce off the top of it. Anywhere in here, if we get some sort of reversal pattern, I'll be keen to get long. Initial targets would just be back up to 60, sort of possibly even 26.20. So there's a good 50-60 pips in there potentially. And overall, you would look for it to break these highs and run for these old highs and up into this run of 3 candles forming over here, 27.20. So they're upside targets, or look for a 20 pip stop run on these old highs, which almost runs back up into this anyway. So 20 to 30 pip stop run on these old highs. Unless we come down and break this area, or pin bar back up into here, form a swing high, and then break down away from it. We can then look to start capitalising off bearish order blocks, but we're not going to trade bearish order blocks until we know that the price has shifted. At the moment, the trend is still up, so we've got to respect that, in my opinion. So coming down to the 15 minutes, you can see we've just rolled over and wandering lower through Asia. If Asia was holding tight or rallying back up, then you can look for a swing low, break through the Asian low, retest and trade down. But with this just wandering down into structure, it tends to suggest we may well get a stab down in London, rejection, and then we can look for a reversal pattern into these areas to get long for 63.20 and ultimately sort of 1.2620 and 1.2680. All the way up. I don't think we're going to get all the way up today. It's Friday. Euro. If we look at this, it's definitely in a consolidation range. We're range bound. All the reasons I was indicating the potential of moving into a premium market up here. Didn't want to go long. It was a good place to short it. That all plays out. The thing we need to look at with the range here is to take the range high to range low and look at where is equilibrium. We're currently below 50% on that range. So we're moving into a discount. Potential for longs off these lows. You could run these lows into any of this structure, down around the 70.5 level or lower quarter of the range, and potentially get a bounce back up. Nothing really stands out. It's very messy. You could pick out all sorts of levels in here. This is a daily order block level that we've hit. Guess you could look at dividing a whole range into quarters and trade it that way. It's generally a range bound strategy that can often work. But yeah, for me for the moment, probably going to just keep my candle, hold my powder dry. So we're below 50% of this overall range, still above it in terms of this swing high, but the pressure is to the downside. Potentially gets a rally up into filling this liquidity void back into this level. If we go up there, and that coincides with the US index filling in this level, potentially look for shorts up in here to then return to the lower range. I think that's probably what I like most about this, and that's on the Euro USD. I'm not interested in shorting it at this point. I want to wait for it to get up to a premium price point. Currently, too much of the move has been made, so I will be keeping my powder dry on the euro for this point. If we get up here, I'll look for a reversal setup on a lower time frame. If we're going to break down, there's you can look for a rejection off these levels. You can look for running on these old lows and rejections, similar to what we had here. And that's where it's at for Euro pound. Obviously, I'm still in it. It's didn't drop really that strongly last night. Could bounce off 50% of this range and come back up and stop me at break even. We're actually below 50% of that range now, so you know, maybe it'll keep going. You could alter that range down to here and say it could bounce from sort of the main body of that range. I'm not sure. I still think there's potential for it to come down and sweep these lows into this level. And if we get a stronger move on cable and euro looks to move back and stay inside this range in its consolidation, we get a continuation of a trend on cable, then that would suggest that euro pound will continue to drop and seek some of this liquidity below these lows. So that's my bias for euro pound. I'll just stick with that. And that's about all we've got. So monitoring US index for a drop. Cable for buys. Cable is showing strength in its uptrend. Expecting the euro to come back up and fill this in. It might not. If it drops, it drops. I'm probably not going to get in on it unless it returns to a premium level. That's where we're at. Cheers, guys.